Hey there, Pagan Perspective. Welcome to Monday. My name is Danny, and this is Subs Week. Today, our question comes from Yucca, and it is share a tradition that you love. So, we are right smack dab in the middle of winter holidays. Thanksgiving has passed here in the US, and we have all of the winter holidays just right around the corner. So, the tradition that is most on my mind is Tree Day. Our family, ever since I was a little girl, would make a very special pilgrimage to get our Christmas tree at the time. We would go to this farm that was right down the road. My parents were good friends with the owner, and we would go to what was at the time considered like the back lot. It was basically this smaller section of the tree farm where the larger trees that had grown up and were, like a full-fledged forest were kind of surrounding all the sides of this little section of newer and kind of miscellaneous tree species. I think it's where most of the leftovers of the year's plantings ended up. What was great about this area was that it created the wonder called one-sided trees. Any of the young trees near the older pines would kind of grow flat on that side. They just wouldn't have as much light, they wouldn't spread out as much, and since we had a tiny home, this was perfect. You would stick the tree with the flat side against the window or wall, and you save space while still having a really beautiful tree. I have many great memories of going after fresh snow had fallen or trekking out there with just my dad. We would wait basically until a week, sometimes a couple days before Christmas Eve, so there wouldn't be other people around. And it would just be us in this woods, in this back lot, and it was really lovely to go out and pick out a tree for this season. Now, as I have my own family and traditions here, as I'm a Druid now instead of a Christian, Tree Day has taken on all sorts of new meaning and special things. So my husband and I are still going out and getting a fresh, real tree. There are different ways you can look at the environmental costs of trees for the winter holidays. I am firmly on the side that using a natural tree that's grown by a local farmer is probably the best way of going about it. Pines grow really very quickly, and there are lots of ways of making that farm more sustainable, and we're lucky enough to be in a state where many of our Christmas tree farmers are doing just that. They're not using loads of chemicals or anything. They're devoting many parts of their farms to natural woods or prairies or whatever might be a more typical habitat for the area. So there's a nice balance where we go to get our tree from. We make a whole day out of it and put up decorations and lights. The playlist, music is very important to this tradition, I think, is a more cultivated pagan holiday playlist. So there are fewer Jesus songs and more just kind of generic winter holidays, or even some pagan versions of songs. Like S.J. Tucker's Solstice Night is one of my absolute favorite songs to listen to during this season. The other thing we do is make sure that we have something sweet to snack on, like holiday cookies, and we'll have a nice drink together as we're just taking this really relaxing day to put up this tree. It's a beautiful symbol to bring in something natural and green and living as we are welcoming the sun back into our lives. So Tree Day is a very important festive holiday for me and my family. And while it might be a tradition, it has kind of morphed into this holiday-esque status in our lives. So I would love to hear about your traditions, particularly if you have any winter traditions. I know this can be a challenging time to kind of curate and balance family traditions that mean something important to you while still bringing that pagan twist to it, or participating in the community events that are important while honoring the gods that you worship, honoring the symbols that are important to you. So I would love to hear about that in the comments below. Thanks for bearing with this lighting and sound issue. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday. Yay! It's this day where everyone gets together to give to nonprofits that are changing the world rather than focusing on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which is all about shopping. So in my job, tomorrow is like the biggest day of my entire year, and my schedule has been very swamped, so I'm focused on that. But thanks for dealing with this video, and I will talk to you next month. Thanks for watching, and as always, may you find peace in the sacred grove.